Don't want no spare change or handout. I see that everywhere I go. Want you to reach right in your conscience, baby, and give me everything I'm owed. I'm talking about them reparations, reparations. Oh, honey, give me all my money, money. Reparations, reparations. Give me everything you owe. Reparations, reparations. For all them years of frustrations. This is the freaking Reparations Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reparations Show. My name is Germono Toussaint. I am your host for this week. I'm excited for this show. I hope you enjoyed that intro. It was sung by the beautiful and talented Kevin R. Free, written by yours truly. It's a very intense song, but it's fun. I wanted to use this time, this show, to do a sort of check-in. I know there's a lot going on. There is a global pandemic, and this pandemic has affected everyone, but it has affected Black people more so. On top of that, we are seeing streams consistently online of bullying, harassment, lynchings, killings, things that we have been complaining about for hundreds of years. It's been going on for a long time, and we're now seeing it, and there are no distractions to us seeing it. So I want to check in and see how we're doing. One of the incidents that I can't get out of my head is from a friend, my best friend actually. He's a 40-something-year-old Black SGL man. And he called me to tell me about a dream that he had where he was back in slavery. And he said that this dream was very, very real to him. And it felt like he was never going to wake up from this dream. And when he did wake up, the anxiety that he felt hadn't gone away. And then he broke down on the phone. And I tried my best to offer some type of comfort to him, things that are comforting to me, things that give me hope, that this is a revolution that we haven't seen before. It's global. Things are changing. The power structure in this country will change. The demographics in this country will change in less than 50 years, I believe. The power structure of white supremacy is slowly crumbling, slowly. We may not even see it in our lifetime, but it's happening. And these are things that give me hope, but I say all that to say Black people are resilient and strong, but we're not all okay. We're not all okay. And I want to check in to see if we're okay, to see how we're doing. All of that caused me to start writing, which is my way of dealing with all of this and to heal myself. So I'm offering this to you.
Let them only see us while we wear the mask.
Maybe we can try that again. I did have a rant that I wanted to read you. I offer this to you. We march, we speak up and out, we volunteer, we vote, we challenge, we chip away at this system of white supremacy. But what do you do when white supremacy chips away at you. We have to make ourselves hard like granite, constitution of stone, where no one can see the cracks and fissures, no one can see the scratches, the etches, the breaking. Sometimes it's one heavy blow that takes a huge chunk out of you. You may never get those pieces back. Where do you go to heal? Who can you be vulnerable with? Do you have a safe space? What do you do when white supremacy chips at you and there are pieces of you all over the place? You have bills you must work. You have dreams you must nurture. You have ideas you must express. You have family you must take care of. You have children you must raise. You have to fight. You have to get involved, march, write, donate, post that video, share that pic, send that email. You have to be in it. Put that cape on, climb that mountain, slay the dragon. But there are still pieces of you all over the place. You may think to yourself, your ancestors survived this and worse. You can survive. Your ancestors survived. You can survive. They fought and didn't complain, didn't whine. They worked. They raised you and you turned out okay. You can do this. It was worse then, and they carried the weight of it. They were strong like granite, but there are pieces of you all over the place. How much weight can you carry? How much weight can you carry and not be whole? Are you absolved from cracking, from breaking into more pieces? You cannot be an effective radical if you are constantly breaking. You can't be an effective part of the movement if you are not here. If you are not here in your body, present, centered, grounded. Before you march, make sure you are grounded. Before you stand on the front lines, check in, pick up those pieces. Make sure you are whole, healed, or in the process of healing. Find a safe space. Share where it hurts with those who are open to listen, who have done the work, who will be in it with you. You have a people. You are not alone. Lastly, and let's not fool ourselves, the system was designed to break you. It was designed to chip away at you, but there is something there at the core, something sacred in you that no one can touch. It's the light that shines on those broken pieces, helping you to find them again. It's what the ancestors called on to help guide them out of dark places. This little light of yours is what will guide you. And one day, the freedom that we fought for, that we dreamed of, will be a reality. But the revolution starts with you. There's a poem by Paul Laurence Dunbar that sort of sums up a bit of this and the masks that we wear. My good friend Michael Michelle Lynch was kind enough to record this for me. Please enjoy.
We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile, with torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouths with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be otherwise, encountering all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask.
Now I would like to introduce my good friend, the producer of this show, of the Reparations Show, Kevin R. Free.
Hey,
Kevin,
we're early, but that's good. we'll talk now for a second, and then we'll go to the next video because I think that's what's queued up. But
All right.
go ahead and ask me a question.
Yeah. So, Kevin, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Are you just fine, Kevin? You're just fine.
No, I mean,
I'm glad you're fine. If you are.
in a few seconds, there's gonna I'm not a few seconds, but in a few minutes, you'll see a video of me from the first episode of the show 2 weeks ago, introducing our scale for this week in reparations. But I've been thinking a lot about reparations and about what that means, because we're not going to make the trillions of dollars that we deserve, right? We're not going to get that money. So I'm thinking about the creation of this show. You know, we created the show to center BIPOC artists, Black, Indigenous, people of color, and to pay them, to give them a little money. So all of the Black and brown artists that you see on the show will get some money for being on the show, and all of our white artists donate their performances, so they don't get paid to come on the show. But I've been thinking a lot about our friend Derek McFadder.
Yes.
Said something on a text thread the other day that really resonated with me, and I had to put the phone down because I kept thinking about. He said, cancel culture doesn't really work because at some point there has to be a path towards reparations and reconciliation. And so I've been thinking a lot about that, and what does reconciliation mean to me, and what do reparations mean to me? And so I want to say that from between now and the end of the time that we are presenting the Reparations Show, I will be thinking a lot about people and organizations who are actually trying to do the right thing.
Right.
Who are and how we can take the path towards reparations and towards reconciliation. And what I hope is, by centering wonderful people like you on this show, that you feel that you are taking care of yourself by making beautiful videos and writing beautiful songs like yourself, like you have and like you do. I also want to take the opportunity now to say thank you, Germono, for hosting the Reparations Show on the final night of Queerly. The Queerly Festival was lovely and more full than it has ever been, and I couldn't be more honored to have you as the host on the last night of Queerly. I want to say that next week we have. I want to tell you the lineup of hosts that we have for the Reparations Show. If you are watching, people, you are not going to want to miss any of these women. Next week we have Curator. The week after that we have Kimberly Walker. The week after that we have. Who do we have? Tracy Conyer-Lee. And the week after, and that, right? And then the week after that, we have Kyra Sims. And the week after that, we have Christina Pitter. We're about to go crazy, viral. So I just wanted to come on and say thank you so much, Germono, and thank you everybody for watching. Now I want to introduce to you. We're re-airing a show that happened in Queerly earlier this week. It was written and directed by Liz Crino and Jonathan Edmondson, and it is called Before We Can Make a Final Decision. Roll it.
Dear applicant, over the last 6 months, the selection committee of the Doris Feinstein Family Foundation has thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you as both a person and an artist. As an emerging leader in your respective field, you have demonstrated a commitment to excellence and innovation that has impressed us all. Congratulations, you have made it to the top 4. But Before we can make a final decision on who will receive this $500,000 grant, we need you to complete one final task. Show us a snapshot of your highest self using only the objects in your room. Your time starts now. Good luck.
Hey, it's here.
Wow, that came quick.
That's what you're gonna call it?
Yeah, you don't like it?
No, it's just, I thought studios are normally named after the artist who starts it.
Yeah, well, if I win this, it's her money that started it, so I feel like it's the least I can do.
And if not?
Well, it's my dream, so I'll figure it out. Thanks for bringing this up.
Oh, shit. I'm not home. I don't really have... Fuck. Pilot? Yeah, I heard from them. No, I mean, I made it to top 4. Yes, I know it's exciting, but... I'm just really fucking tired. I was mom at the hospital all night last night. She's doing okay. Sort of. She's sleeping now. The meds are helping, but God, I just thought I was done with all of this interview shit. And now they want something else from me? And I'm really freaking out because I'm at my mom and dad's place in Vermont, so none of my stuff is here. Well, there's a time limit, I think. Oh God, I wish I was in New York so I could get to my studio. I have a bunch of shit there that would be perfect. What do I have with me? Well, clothes, some that I made, some that I didn't, books, a bunch of random shit. Well, I do have that graduation dress I made, but do you think that could work? Oh, I know. The money can help with my studio and support mom's medical bills. I know I can't give up yet, but... Okay, you're right. Okay, I have to do this now. I'm not going to finish in time. I love you. Bye. Okay, yep, I got this.
My apologies. I thought I had gotten the time off for my interview, but I must have been mistaken. The students who come to the studio still loved the classes, though. Yes, I know it's been a lot of interviews lately, but that's just part of... Right. It won't happen again. Oh my God. My highest self. You pick apart my CV, make me write an essay, interview my references. Why does this matter? Dear Leah, I'm sorry we couldn't give you this life-changing grant so that you could finally open a dance studio of your own, but the picture you sent to us was too low. Please find a more elevated way to define your future self. Whoa, Oh, I did not click on that. 3 minutes?
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Okay, top 4. Oh, fuck. Okay, you guys aren't messing around. All right. Are you guys watching me right now? I mean, of course they're not going to answer that, but okay, whatever. Game on. You're gonna have to excuse my appearance. I was literally just about to head out for Pride here in New York. Actually, definitely don't excuse my appearance. This is what I normally look like on a regular basis. I'm not really a fan of business suits. As a playwright, I'm not usually the one that stands front and center in my work, but, well, I'm happy to represent my community. I know in my last interview, I said that I was going to use the money to open up my own theater company that focuses on giving queer artists a platform. And, well, that's definitely true. But $500,000. Fuck, man, that's more money than most people see in their lifetime. And I want to use the money to people around me. I'm not gonna lie, I would donate to education nonprofits in my community. I hope that's okay to say. Oh.
Sorry, I can't talk right now. Well, I'm not scheduled to teach a class today. How's sick? All right, I'm in the middle of a really important thing, so just give me 5 minutes, please. All right, my highest self is sophisticated, powerful, feminine. I mean, all 3, right? Whatever. I'll just wear all of it. And for a background. Okay. That was not 5 minutes. All right. Well, I'm on my way. Okay. Shit. Oh.
I, as in, or is it oh, highest self? Why highest when I'm lowest, or best, or most deserving? What have they not seen from me so far? Is it like Doris? Do they want me to maybe climb up high and show them? No! Why did it have to be highest? What are they looking for? They're not giving me the time I need to make this really good, huh? Unless that's the point. Quickness, brevity, impulse. Yes, this is a test of my impulse. Okay,
Last year I got this pride flag, and it was my first pride. And I went with my boyfriend, well, my ex-boyfriend. And it's funny that you've been asking me about my highest self, and I've been thinking a lot about that recently. My ex was the first guy I ever dated. And we were together for a few years, and I kind of tied my identity around being with him. Even my queerness was tied to his love, which is stupid. But as a writer, I feel very confident about what I have to say. I know my characters. I know the stories I want to tell. But when it comes to myself, I'm still figuring all that shit out. My highest self is queer, but it's also so much more. I feel like I'm doing an Instagram live right now. Are you guys even listening to me? Does this count towards the final answer? I hope it does.
And now the title. Maybe it's more like here? I never really thought about it. But what if no. Maybe that's too cocky. Do they want to see growth? Do they want to see confidence? Humility. Nihilism? Maybe? No. I don't know.
This was my graduation dress. The last time I wore it was the last time my mom was outside. It was the last time she was happy. Maybe the last time I was happy. Okay. To you. Oh, love these. Can't forget you. Okay. My mom's medicine. She's the reason I got into fashion design, so. Okay. You. Okay, how much time's left? Oh, shit. Fuck it. This is me. This is me right now.
All right. Okay, and then I think I'll just pose like this. Okay, well, fuck. All right. Here she is, my highest self. Ta-da! What kind of an asshole person comes up with something like this? I think it's really telling how these young people create different versions of themselves. While assuredly none of them will succeed, it would just be nice to see how truly devastating it is for 3 out of the 4 of them. And besides, goal setting is really great for young people. If I'm not making all of this up on the spot right now. My highest self wouldn't have time for this. She would do whatever she wanted to do, and people would love her for that. And her room wouldn't be such a mess. And she would know exactly how to answer this question. She would say, I quit. Dumb question. I mean,
This is an oldie. Well, it's an oldie where I come from. She want me to stay.
So, my highest self is also Black. It's male. It's got dark eyes. It's loud. It's creative. It's loyal. It's scared. It's awake. All right. This is me. Every part of it. Not just one thing, but everything.
I mean,
This is an oldie. Well, it's an oldie where I come from. She want me to stay. Told her pump the brakes. Love is not my thing. Only fucking with my flame. She want me to stay. Told her pump the brakes. Love is not my thing. Only fucking with my brain. Yeah, I talk about some change, then I buy.
I love it. I love it. What is your highest self? What is your highest self? I love all of it. I think that's a great segue because I was racking my brain trying to think of a song that would fit into this show. And again, I called up my good friend Michael Michelle Lynch, who had a great suggestion, and we got together yesterday to record this. And I have to say, Michael is so brilliant and talented, and enjoy.
When you hear what I'm gonna say, sure you won't be able to turn your head away. 'Cause what I'm gonna talk about, nobody wants to be without. It makes no difference who you are or what color you happen to be, as long as you're alive and breathing. This has got to be one of your needs. I'm talking about freedom for you and me. When you see the birds fly in the sky, I'm sure you have to say, my, oh my.
And all the waters in the river so deep. Oh, how it flows so free. Yeah. Makes no difference who you are or what color you happen to be. Yes, long as you're alive and breathing, this has got to be one of your needs. Yeah. And it makes no difference who you are or what color you happen to be. As long as you're alive and breathing, this got to be one of your needs. I'm talking about freedom for you and me. Everything that breathes, every little thing, everything that breathes, every little thing, everything that breathes.
Everything that breathes is yearning to be free. I love it. And I love Michael. And now, this week in reparations. Roll it.
It's a segment we will call This Week in Reparations. This is the time when I update you, all of you, on people and organizations who have released screeds condemning the murder of George Floyd and statements of solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement, and also what they have done since releasing their statements. My plan is to hold them accountable, or try. And then we're going to grade them on our very own 5-point scale. That 5-point scale goes from 1 to 5, $1 sign to $5 signs. The first dollar sign is 40 acres and a mule. Now, this is the lowest grade, obviously, because it basically means that you have paid me back without interest, and therefore I am not interested in it. $2 signs, 40 acres and the golden rule. Do unto others as right. No, we know you can't do that. We tried that in the 60s. $3 signs, 40 acres and a Moscow mule. Okay, all right. It might be good enough for Oprah, but it isn't good enough for me. I drink bourbon. Though I will give you credit for giving me some kind of liquor. $4 signs, 40 acres and some tools. For this, I say thank you for the land, and while I'm glad not to have to pick up after a mule, I would prefer if you used your influence and privilege to work the land for me. But I will use these tools to build my own house on my own land, and maybe I'll invite you in. We can have some watermelon pink lemonade or some red Kool-Aid, whatever I want to serve you. And 5, finally, our highest score will be $5 signs, 40 acres and a jewel. Thank you so much for the inheritance, white folks. But only 1 jewel? I'll take it because it's real money. But I still feel like I need to contest your will. Now, if you get the idea that you can't win, white folks, then you're correct. Now you know how it feels.
Reparations. That's the jam, y'all. You have to get into it. I'm gonna do a remix next week. So I'm really excited to talk to our next guest. I've been following her career for a very long time. Tony-winning, multiple award-winning actress, writer, director, fierce talent, fierce talent, the one and only Tanya Pinkins.
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
great. I'm great. I'm feeling good right now.
Oh,
Feeling good right now.
good. I have my mask on because that is the best self-care anyone can do at this time. Wear
Yeah.
a mask all the time.
We're not asking for a lot. Wear your mask, wash your hands. Wear your mask, wash your hands. So
I wear gloves when I leave the house. I wear gloves.
I mean, they say they work, they say they don't work.
You know, you got to think about, I think about Typhoid Mary, who never had a symptom, who never believed that she was a carrier of typhoid, but 90 some people died because of her. And every time they let her go free, they would say, now you can't do this and you can't do that. And she'd go do it again because she just didn't believe it because she was never sick, but she killed a whole lot of people. So I started being careful in January because I was like, what if I'm a carrier and I'm not sick? I feel really healthy, but that doesn't mean can't make other people sick.
Yeah, there's a lot of types of marriage down south.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you feeling? How are you?
I'm outstanding. I mean, there's been something incredible for me about this in that I'm a hermit. I like to be alone. So it's a lot of creative time. And I was raised Catholic. And so, because, white people are showing themselves, it's really allowed me to challenge all my good Catholic upbringing and just start going and fighting with the white supremacists online. And it's been very empowering.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it feel good though?
Huh?
Doesn't it feel good though?
It does. And it's actually freed me of some of my Catholic good girl, have to be nice stuff. And I can see that my work is gaining more power.
Yes. I get it. They annoy me, but every once in a while, getting a few jabs, it feels good.
Well, I think I needed to do that for a little while because it was just such a taboo, forbidden thing. And now it's just like, oh, you're a waste of time, but it's freed me in the rest of my writing.
Yeah. Speaking of the rest of your writing, this is your baby. This is your project.
This is my new baby, Red Pill. Mm-hmm.
So this is all you directed. You chose the actors.
I cast it. I directed it. I designed it. I acted in it. I wrote it. Everything.
And you did a quick work. How long did it take?
Honest to God, we were talking about clairvoyance. I am in the house right now that the film was shot in, and I was in the house on this day last year, and so the seeds of it began in July of last year. I wrote it in August, and I shot it at the end of October.
Wow. So it just all came to you?
It all came to me. I'd never done it before. I just knew it was supposed to be. I wrote it with certain actors in mind, like Ruben Blades and Luba Mason. I wrote it for them, and Luba had invited me over for dinner, and when we were sitting on their terrace, Ruben said, you need to write for yourself these days. And I said, well, speaking of which, here's a script. And it worked out that the schedule we wanted fit right into the middle of his concert schedule. So it really feels divinely guided, and that it's supposed to be just so many signs and so many amazing people who've come on to work on it. And I know that it is going to release on the day that it's supposed to, and that's not mine to decide. That it's supposed to come out before the election because it's going to affect people.
Yeah. So we need to do a whole nother show about clairvoyance and synergy and all that. I'll ask Kevin to make that happen. But
sure.
What prompted you to write this, and why now?
As I said, it was a vision that came to me about something that needed to be brought into the world. And one of the ways I've been thinking a lot about how can I be of service in my world as I sit up is how do I, take care of my own house? And I'm a woman, and looking at the ways in which women harm women, how do I help women be better to women so that women can have more power. And so I also produced last year a series of plays by and about women called Truth and Reconciliation of Women, which we did at the Tank last year. So my work has just really been exploring ways in which women can work out their stuff with one another. And so Truth and Reconciliation of Women is the feel good, lovey version, and Red Pill is the dystopian horror version. Like, if y'all don't work it out, this is what's gonna be.
I saw, but I'm not gonna give anything away.
You gonna show the trailer?
Yeah, we're gonna show the trailer. Anything else you want to say about it before we show it?
It's like the Black woman's Get Out, sociopolitical horror. I think Black people and white people are going to have a very different experience. Get Out for me was a comedy. It was funny as hell. From the minute I saw Allison Williams, I knew the bitch was evil. So I think it's the kind of movie that, you know, Black people are going to have one experience of it and white people are going to have another one.
Yeah, I believe so. It's not light. All right, let's do it.
It's funny. It's very funny. Yeah, show the trailer. It's funny.
Yeah, let's roll it. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you.
We are a majority in this country, and we're gonna win the election.
Do you know what the red pill is? A red pill is someone who infiltrates a group and then destroys them from the inside. This place is spooky.
Take it easy.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna go back tomorrow.
I think we should call the sheriff's office.
What is that? What do we do, Amelia?
We die. But we take some of them with us.
Tanya is not out here playing, y'all. This is I have to do some emotional preparation for this, but I can't wait for it to come out. Did it all herself, like a few months. It's crazy. So thank you so much, Tanya, for being on the show and for sharing your talent. I am a huge fan and was a little nervous talking to you, but you are so warm and wonderful. Thank you for being Tanya. That's all I can say. Next, I would like to present a monologue. It's called Dude. It was written by Jaquel Mazek and performed by Malcolm Callender. Enjoy.
You know, I've been thinking. Not thinking hard, not thinking long, but like quick thinking. I have been quick thinking about, well, I don't know if you ever thought about it, like how I think about it. Or if you quick think it some days, like how I quick think it. But, like, do you ever think about him? Like, not even saying I think about him like that. Not even saying we should be thinking about him like that. I don't really like that. I don't. But like, let's just say, like yesterday, when we were marching, like pitchfork marching, like burn this shit down marching, like stomp, clap marching, like scream, stomp marching, and shouting all those names, I thought one of the names was his. Like the name he used to coerce us into thinking that he was anyway, the name, the alias, it was his alias. Like when Tyler Perry becomes Medea, or when that white dude becomes Mrs. Doubtfire. His becoming name, his woman name. think I heard it yesterday during the marching, during the call and response. I don't know if you heard it. I don't know if you thought it. I don't know. But it brought him back. I don't know if you looked at me, looking at you, but I did, because I didn't know where else to. Who else was that night? Crazy night. Too crazy to remember night until you do. Until I did. But I don't know if you saw me looking at you and then looking at the ground, because I did. When I heard that name, his becoming name, his woman name, Sweet, it made me drop the sign, drop the chant, drop the marching, drop the step. I couldn't step. No, my feet wouldn't let, my body started to remember when we heard that name first. Sweet. When we tasted, both of us tasted sweet. And I remember getting angry when we found out it was all, when she wasn't she, but in fact a he who posed as sweet. We said we were right to be mad by that. We said we were right to be fooled by that, by her, by him, I mean. But I still not so quick think about how crazy things got after that. How crazy we got after that. How violent it's a blur. I know, a real blur. We know that night. We said, you said, I agreed. We were right to be angry, but still quick think about him and that night and how we left him bruised blue in his blood. So much of it. So much of his. Maybe we were right to be that mad, but I don't know. I still think about that. Quick thinking. I can't think too hard on it, but I did hear his becoming name, the man in the dress name, yesterday. And bro, I don't think I can march it today. Don't know if I could chant it. Don't know if I could call or response it. Don't think I can quick think it no more. What we did to him. How crazy we got on him. And how we left him. I don't even think I can call him him. Because all I remember is sweet. All I tasted was sweet. And all I saw was sweet until we saw and maybe we were right to be that mad, but maybe, bro, maybe we was wrong.
That was intense. Thank you for offering. I've been thinking about what Kevin said and the theme of the show and the purpose for the Reparations Show. And I've also been thinking about all of the pain that Black people have experienced in this country. We've experienced a tremendous amount, an inconceivable amount of suffering. But from that, we have created a tremendous amount of beauty. We, like Tanya, we're creating films, we're writing poetry, we're writing songs, we're painting, we're drawing, we're producing, we're transforming that pain. And then I started to think about all of the artists from decades ago who had written the blues and jazz and rock and roll and never got their due, never got paid for their art, for that transformation. And then I thought about some modern artists who are creating in that same vein and still not getting recognized because the industry would rather uphold a white artist doing the same style. It seems to me, from what I'm seeing in the industry, that people do want soul music, but they don't want it from Black people. They want Black music from someone else. And I always say, love Black people as much as you love Black culture. So I say all that to say, the artists tonight are artists that we should support. At any chance I get, I'm supporting Black artists. I want you to support the artists tonight. We are posting their Venmos. Michael Michelle Lynch, Kevin R. Free, Tanya Pinkins, Germono Toussaint. Support Black art. I want to thank Kevin for giving me a chance to host this show. It has been an amazing experience. Thank you for believing in me and pushing me. Trying to be more seen, so thank you. I would like to thank Erez. I would like to thank the Queerly family, the Reparations Show tech team for making this happen. And again, I will say, go out, make a difference in whatever way you know how to make a difference, but make sure you are taking care of yourself first. Thank you again. Have a good night. And until next time, take care.